Alright, so here we are at last with a Nintendo Switch in front of us. Yeah, this is it. You got little images on the side of it, front image. So it's actually kind of shocking to me that you just can't seem to get these anywhere, but you seem to be able to get them everywhere. Like, as a good example, my mother actually went into GameStop just on a whim, and they had it. So she went ahead and got it for me. I was actually having some people, yeah, it was a package deal, and the package deal, of course, made her pay as much as you're paying for people on eBay, scalpers, to get it. So you're basically getting, you know, your Zelda art book, a pair of headphones from PDP, which is a good company, so I'm okay with supporting them. I think it actually came with a screen protector, 200 gigabyte memory, and not just one, but 2 copies of The Legend of Zelda, because, you know, also a Pro Controller. So, all of that, $450, I think? So, $520. Oh, $520? Yeah. So, alright, let's open it up. You know, they'll try to find every way they can to milk this thing by accessorizing and adding more stuff. I mean, people were willing to pay $5.99 for the PlayStation 4, no, the PlayStation 3 when it first came out. That's right. The PS3 was $599 US when it came out. So, you know, it's, I mean, these are made in America, mind you. They actually have a manufacturing plant. I think it's in Wisconsin where these get made. And look at these little tiny itty bitty controllers. Like, you see it in the pictures, you see it in the videos of like the controller, and this is my honest first time ever holding one of these. And I have to say, I am shocked. I'm actually genuinely shocked at how weird this feels. Like, the stick is not at all like how I imagined it. It's a lot less like it's more like a 3DS, the way the 3DS control stick works, but like popped out and actually like there, and it feels like it's ready to just snap off in my hand. I know it's actually strong and sturdy, but there's so many springs, like so many layers to this thing. It's way more complicated than I expected it to be. Very strange feeling in the hand. But I guess, you know, you get used to it with time. Just like, you know what it actually reminds me of is the feel of the original Nintendo 64, the way that thumbstick kind of felt in your hand, but without the hard angles. So it's more freeform. You can go and you can do really refined things like in snipper clips. I'm going to play some snipper clips of this in a bit and try that. I'm going to guess that's the sync button right there. And you got the L and the R buttons, and you probably want to get some kind of extenders or pads for those to work. But anyway, I'm done obsessing with the controllers. So now you see them, and this is the actual console. So what you're going to see looks like I'm just popping out a screen or something. This is the whole deal. This is it. This little tiny itty bitty thing. Look at how small this is. Like, actually, look at how tiny. This is smaller than an iPad. This is a great deal smaller than an iPad mini. This is actually about, now that I'm holding it up next to my cell phone, this is about the same size as my cell phone, which is it's a Google Pixel XL in a LifeProof case. So it's a little bit larger than a cell phone, which also makes me think that, you know, the idea of this going into a VR helmet is not entirely, you know, unreasonable. Plus, you can, you know, do VR with these because they got all the gyroscopes and stuff to make VR work well. The only thing is, I don't know if the Tegra can handle the 2 images side by side without, you know, making you vomit. But, you know, with refinement and optimization, anything is possible. You just gotta believe and use CSS3 as much as possible with the new cascading style sheet for VR standards that Google is working on. So, yeah, I see there's an air vent here, so that's where the hot goes. There's also 2 air vents on the back, so maybe it gets hot in the back. This is the little flip I've been hearing about. Everybody says it's flimsy, like it's designed to snap off. You know, it's sturdier than it was described. It's much sturdier than it was described. It is still flimsy. It will still snap in half, but it will come right back on. You can just reattach it, I believe. So that's the stand. The angle it sits at, I like the angle it sits at because it's not reflecting the room around it. So I'm okay with that being the way it is. Oh, that's right. I forgot that the Zelda carrying case also was part of the package deal. So you can see how, you know, you got the little Sheikah Slate logo on there and stuff. And essentially it works going in there with your controllers on the side. Let's switch, quote unquote, the controllers for the first time and hope I'm not getting this backwards, because if they get locked in backwards, they don't come out easily without using a pair of pliers. Pretty sure I got them right. Yeah, that's right. So okay, there we've switched the switch. It's now switched into switch mode. I believe in this box there's more. There's always more. There are a lot of things in this box. So quite a lot more than what you have. All right, so what else do we have? Let's talk about that. This is the controller if you don't want to hold the controllers individually in your hand and you want something that feels more like a traditional game controller. I personally will probably be playing with the Pro controller just because it's all nice and neat and held together. How do these actually come out? I believe there's like a release lever back here. Yeah. Easy, effortless. There's a tiny itty-bitty button. I've never seen anybody point these out in a video before. Tiny itty-bitty button. You push that, you pull, and it comes right off. So you've now decoupled from the switch, and now you can reattach by doing this, sliding that in. I could see a child doing this very easily. Like, this is very child-friendly. At first I was like, kind of concerned about the child-friendliness of it. And there you go, there's the dog. So you got the dog face that everybody talks about, how it looks like, you know, it looks like a dog face. So, and the slightly off-center logo that will never stop bothering me. But there we are. It's to balance the outline. That's the problem. When you make a logo and you involve outline and something without outline, and you have to account for the outline, there's always this like weight problem where you have to do something that looks good to the human eye, but isn't actually like accurate. So yeah, they went and did that. But anyway, okay, yeah, that feels very 3DS. This feels very 3DS. Like the button, you just click it and it just taps in and it immediately works. So if you're used to the way that the 3DS buttons feel, this will, oh my gosh, like the control stick in combination with that, it's like a much better 3DS control stick. Like I wish these were what the 3DS came with. If you think about this as a portable console and not a home console and something you carry around with you, absolutely. I think this is big enough that it would fit in my pockets. I got really big pockets though. I don't know if everybody's got pockets quite that big. But let's see what we got here. HDMI cable. Nothing important. Does it have the Nintendo logo on it though? That's what matters to me. Is it an officially licensed HDMI cable? Yes, it is. It's got the Nintendo logo. You got your AC power unit, which plugs directly into a USB-C. And in my experience, any USB-C charger will do, though some people say that not every one of them works. All the ones I use with my Google Pixel work, so everywhere my Google Pixel plugs in, my Switch can plug in. That's awesome that that's the same format. Thanks, Google and Nintendo, for adopting the same format. Hey, look! We got a handheld thing to extend those dinky L&R buttons that are so tiny. And that actually just presses the button in. It's just got a little thing that presses it in. So that should make that experience better. Now, these, I've heard, are a nightmare. Because you can actually get it jammed in here and just mess everything up horribly. So I'm going to try to do this in a way that doesn't require me to go get a pair of scissors or something to prime out. I think that's minus to minus. I hope it's minus to minus, not minus to plus. God, I hope so. But it looks like it's the right way, and it feels the right way, and I think it's going to uncouple when I do that. Good, 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 good. Because, yeah, if you do force this in upside down, which some people have done, it's going to need some tools to come out. So that's the only real complaint I have about that, is make sure you don't mess that up. Also, okay, here's the other one. I was like, where's the other? Okay, it just fell on the floor. That's cool. I got it. All right. Oh, here it is, the base. It scratches your screen, apparently. Ooh, that's a heck of a tight squeeze. Yeah, if you aren't pushed directly against the back there, I can see how that could be a problem. Ooh. Eee. Yeah. That's not so good, is it? Yeah, that's why I recommend putting in a cover, or as they're calling them, dock socks. They have dock socks. This little thing flips open, and you can put your HDMI cable in there. And USB, looks like a 3.0, I believe. And is that a C? USB-C? Thank goodness. So, lots of expansions and plugins and chargers and all the good stuff to make everything work. How do these charge, right? Like, how do they? Do they not need power to work? I would be shocked. They have to have power. Well, anyway, out of the box, let's see if it turns on. It probably won't. I'm just curious. Wow, it turned on. So, right out of the box, it's probably got a low charge, though. we're just going to go ahead and slap the controllers on there. Yeah, it's telling me to snap them on, to synchronize them. So taking that out of the controller, plugging it in. All right, we've snapped in place. All right, cool. A lot of pomp and circumstance to the language menu, and there is a haptic touch feed thing. View the end user license agreement. Let's see. I'm just curious, like, if there's anything really funny in here. Usually around this paragraph there should be something like, your rights under this agreement will be in the term if you do not comply with any of the agreement. Yeah. All caps. To the maximum extent permitted by law, Nintendo will not be liable to you or any special consequential damages of any kind arising out of your relation to access, use, misuse, or inability to use the console, even if Nintendo has been advised of the possibility of such damages to the maximum. Okay, so basically, if somebody uses their Nintendo Switch to beat you over the head and kill you, that's cool. Nintendo's not liable for that. All right. So we're good there. We can change location by hitting Y. All right, next. I'm actually kind of liking the touch screen's receptiveness. It's not like the Wii U where you have to tap the screen with your fingernail. Does it do the 5 gigahertz? It does the... Whoops, that's my neighbor. Don't connect to my neighbor's internet. What are you doing? Yeah, so connect that to the power and connect the thing to your TV. All right, let's give it a shot. Start projecting in a 900 whole P. Now look, you can rat on the small resolution, but you need to remember that the less screen and resolution and texture depth that the artists at Nintendo have to work with, the faster they can get the games made. Okay? So factor that in, and I think we can all agree that getting games sooner, faster, and in larger quantities than the consoles is a nice trade-off. Little green lights have shown on that weren't there before. Interesting. So these do have some kind of electrical power. Another thing that's been bothering me is, where do you put your freaking memory disks? I mean, they've been talking about it in the news, like, oh yes, the memory cards support up to 2 terabytes of storage. So I'm like, is it in the slot? Can you only have the one game or your memory card? No. The expansion is actually under the foot. It's right there. Oh, good. We have success. So now it's on my computer like so, using the AverMedia cable. Ta-da! Good. So now we can go ahead and press the A button with our little dude. Set your icon and nickname. Cool. I think I can set up a me. Yeah, me. I gotta say, the Mii Maker is pretty flexible. It's actually very similar to the one on the Wii, and I like that you can choose your expression and your pose, as well as set a background color. So, pretty cool. A lot of options there. Now let's play a real man's game. There's freaking Metal Slug on here. Very easy to understand the controls. A is Y, C is X, D is A, and B is B. Yep, that makes sense. Let's pick our boy Tarma, because we always pick Tarma. Tarma is the man. But no, really, this game, like, Metal Slug's on this. It's a game where you fight a giant enemy crab, you understand? You fight freaking zombies, and then you get turned into a zombie and you get this awesome, like, vomit breath weapon. You fight yetis that turn into snowmen. You fight, like, on the back of a mammoth that looks like an elephant. There's these alien things that show up. They throw, like, monoliths at you, and you blow up a big egg, and then you're, like, next thing you know, you're underwater shooting at, like, submarines, and they're trying to drop tanks on you, and you're like, why? Why would they waste tanks just to kill me? And then you get in a robot suit, and it's like, yeah, robot suit, why not? And you punch other robot suits, and then you fight a giant, like, toy robot that looks like the Destructoid logo, and then you're, like, on a camel, like, riding through the desert with a machine gun on it, and then next thing you know, you're fighting mummy dogs that turn you into a mummy, and then you're fighting giant plants that eat you while trying to collect batteries, and then you're fighting, like, a giant Aztec god that fires ghost wolves at you, and you're, like, having to dodge the ghost wolves, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? How do I even know when collision is happening? Also, he turns you into, like just money, just straight up turns you into money. Then you get a jet, and then a jet pack after the jet, and then you fight Saddam Hussein, and And then it turns out he was an alien the whole time, and then he kidnaps you, and you're like, what? What is going on? And then you have to play as your love interest, who then gets in a rocket, and like all the bad guys now are like good guys, and you're all on rockets, and you rocket up into space, and for no reason whatsoever, the game inexplicably turns into a totally badass top-down shooter, and you're like, yeah, all right, let's rock. And the music is awesome, and then you kill more Martians on their spaceship and these like little red robot things, and then you start killing clones of your friend that got kidnapped, and then you rescue her, and she's like, come on, let's go, and then there's like zombie clones of her with the vomit breath weapon, and you're like, oh my god, they have the weapon now that was so good, and then you get like ejected into space, and then you're out of an airlock, and you have to stab a giant alien like mother thing in the brain, and you shoot it in the brain, and then at the end you're like, man, war sucks. I'm done with war. And you drop your gun in the water and it falls onto a fish's head at the end. And then you get to enter your conveniently 3-lettered name into a high scoreboard and realize that this is the Neo Geo Pocket that you always wanted. Oh, also it plays Zelda. That's cool too.